Yeah, just a quick video. I think I'm 10 minutes anyway on the 2010 Subaru Forester. There's a bunch of videos out there showing you to take the center console apart, taking the lower dash apart, but I have not found one that does the cowling over the speedometer. You need that to take certain other things apart to reach other parts. As I found out, there's not much else there to do, but like the trim part that holds the heater controls, that's underneath this cowling. There's actually right there where the light's kind of flashing next to. But like I was saying, sorry about that. Right here, this goes underneath this cowling. I did find one written reference to this, but basically this cowling, you gotta just kind of rip it off. As they said, you gotta get a grip somewhere. It's like there's a little notch here, right where my finger's at there, and you just gotta kind of go like that. Once you get this pulled, and I think I just lost it, please. Yeah, I did. Once you get that pulled, you'll see these little pieces here, and there's the other one down here. But this is what they look like. And they're actually supposed to stay on here, and they don't. They fall out the dash if you try to put it back on the box. You see one there, one there. So you got to pull those out. So I'm going to do that, but that's a two-handed job. So anyway, I dropped the clips off there, but they go in these holes here. There's one, there's two, that's three, and that's four, and that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back of the speedometer has them also. I did have to pull that out to get to this, or get to the one that dropped. So you see there, they love them. There's only one wire with the speedometer casing on these 2010 Subarus. And the rest of this dash is all one solid piece of plastic. At least all the way over to the cross. So like anything you gotta do back there is a pain in the ass. Luckily this insulation, that weight insulation back there, actually caught the clips when they fell. So you know, I make sure that this thing's back far enough, just in case you got pulled again. There was just the one wire to disconnect. You can see the wires right there. This just pops down here. Grab your wire and plug it into this socket here. Of course, one hand ain't easy. Hold on. Alright, get that back in. There's some pins up here. I'll show you that. Yeah, there they are. So there's you can see it barely sticking out there right next to the hole. Same thing over here. Those are the screw holes. The bottom of this thing, you just push it down and in. And then you grab your 2 screws and put those in. Alright, then once you get your 2 screws back in, that's all it takes on the cluster. The cowling goes back on. You go watch these tabs. They have slots they have to fit in. You see the holes. That's the one right there. So that goes around. You gotta get those tabs in there, so it takes a little work. So I'm gonna do that too, and I'll finish showing you. Alright, once you get that in place, you just kind of snap it in. You want to make sure there's no open gaps anywhere, so once you get that in, you're good. But anyway, this whole thing was trying to get to the cigarette lighter here. I found out because of the way the setup is done. The heater controls. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that, but I want to. Well, you can see the cable sitting actually a tiny bit of blue right there. See that little bit of blue? And then over here is the yellow. You can see a little bit of yellow. Those two cables prevent you from pulling the controls out. You have to disconnect everything to pull this whole thing off. That's one piece. Bezel starts from that vent, comes across down here, and goes up behind the cowling. That's why I was moving the cowling, was to get to that. But as I found out, it don't work that way. And my whole thing was to add a USB port. Actually, a double one to the back of the console here, because there's nothing back here for power. So I added that one there, drilled a hole, pretty much center, I guess. Got pretty close. Can't go to the top here. There wasn't enough space. That's where I would prefer it, like just about right where the light is, a little bit further, smaller light, but pretty much there. But unfortunately, this is as high as I can go, because the top of the top tray here and the hinges and everything, all that mechanism's right behind there, and it just was not deep enough for this outlet. I think this thing's like between 2.5 maybe 3 inches deep, and that's the deepest spot you can go. Actually, I should have been another like ½ inch, ¼ inch lower, but it is what it is now. And that winds up with the wires coming up there, and if I showed you, that's the wires coming up. I ran them alongside of that. That's my ground. That's where I grounded it out at. I had to add wire to that, and then same thing with the positive, which goes up to there. There's this red wire hanging, and I'm going to be using that tap right there, tap into the fuse box. And that's a tap where it uses a separate fuse for your new power line, and you got another slot for the regular fuse that you're tapping into, so you're not actually tapping that circuit, you're tapping just the power. So you gotta make sure when you put the fuse tap in, you put it the right way. You want to make sure that the power legs on the power side, and then the accessory of whatever is connected to that power lead is on the other side of the fuse. So you just gotta make sure you put them in right. So I'm going to start putting things back together. One thing I just want to note too, while I got this part for you guys, I haven't seen anything. I've looked, but I haven't seen. I know it's kind of hard to see with the lighting, but you see the little black pluses I put on everything. You can see that some are on the top of the fuse, some are at the bottom of the fuse, and the rows are different. The one I couldn't mark, hold on, let me get these wires out. Alright, this might be a little better, but you can see that there's one right here, it's a 15 amp, it's got the plastic things right alongside of it. That's your ABS fuse. I didn't test that because obviously they don't want you pulling it. I'm supposing possibly it could trigger the airbags, but all the rest of the fuses you can see, and then there's 2 blanks that have no fuses in them. Actually 3, I'm sorry, 3 blanks with no fuses in them. I'm not showing power for any of those 3, but the one on the bottom row, I am showing power to the top of that. So you can see that bottom row, the first 3 are bottom power, and then the next 4 are top power. On the row above that, the first one top power, then the next 4 bottom power, and the last one apparently, the last one's bottom power also. I mean, you can just barely see it in there because of the light, but it's bottom power. The row above that, first 2 are bottom power, and then the next 3 are top power. The row above that, bottom power, top power, bottom power. The next 3 are top power, and the last one's bottom power. And then the top row, the bottom's power, the next one's bottom power, then top power and bottom power, and that's the way they are. So my 10 minutes is up.